Yeah, I know it hurts, because you have to be still. Wait. Oh. You're fine, you didn't get... We'll go. Being goofy. Go. Yep. Yep. It's kind of a trick canter. He's kind of cantering behind. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Come on. Try a little harder than that. Right. His leg hurts. That's why he's spinning out like that. He wants to kick his leg up. There. Good boy. Good boy. Nope, keep going. I know. You should have been bouncing around. Good boy. Stop cutting in the circle. I'm not asking you to canter. I know it hurts. Thank you. He was doing what I call motorcycle turns there. That's what I was trying to get him to. Why are you going to keep hurting yourself? Now, stop. Now, you're being. Put your leg forward. Put your leg forward. So the first thing we're going to do, come on. Right. Is you're going to do your emergency stop. That's the first thing you're going to do. Because if he thinks kind of bounce around like that, he will potentially try, but we're going to work on two things. Your balance point, emergency stop, and then see where you guys are from there. But stop. Yeah, you're a little bit in your own world. Stop. Come on. Hey, here it is. Okay. Rick. Hey. I'm not even facing that way. Where are you? I don't know what world you're in right now, but you can get in mine, please. being so distracted and pay attention to me, please. Okay, I'm going to give them to you. So he knows, as you can see, he knows it today for whatever reason. He's seeing if he actually has to do it. Tell him over. Brett. Good. Oh boy. So your left rein always is shorter, both hands in the mane. Other hand, both hands in the mane. Yep. Other hand on the back of the saddle. Ask him to over again. He used the bug as an excuse. Brett, pay attention. Good boy. Yep. Saddle shifted and I thought it was way tight. So if you have to, you step up in this stirrup if it's not straight. Step up in this stirrup and shift it this way if it's not straight. Is the saddle straight? It looked like it shifted when you got on.
I think.
Otherwise, just stand in this stirrup and push it that way. Not really sure what it shifted. I swear it was pretty damn tight. Oh, I guess now that he's... Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. I don't want to do that to you. I've lost weight since I started riding in it. I know, I love you. But you have to behave. Okay, so just walk him out there to look for your balance point. Can you put your hand flat on his rump? If not, adjust your rump until you can. So I would say your palm of your hand is definitely off his back. So there you go. And now bend your legs so your legs go under you. Yep, good. Because he trips a lot. If you're not on your balance point, you're going to go over his head. He's a Tennessee walker, so that's why the way he looks funny to you.
Okay.
But he does have a hind leg problem that he's had since he got kicked when he was a baby. Can you go ahead and hoe him for a second? I see something that might be irritating him. Okay, you're welcome. So, do you remember the mechanics of the emergency stop? His mane's on this side, so it shouldn't get in your way. Okay, let's see, and then, okay, yep, I'm gonna have to, oh, okay. So the first thing you're gonna do, good boy, is you're gonna take this hand, raise him all the way up, so that way you have, so, yep, and then now with this hand though. Yep, and then you're gonna, no, I'm sorry, you were right, or I was right originally. Now, grab at the mane, good, then take this hand and grab halfway away from you and bring him around to your toe. Good. Now, see how you brought him kind of up to here? You're gonna wanna kind of think, bring him around to your butt. Because if you bring it up, you could flip him up. So bring him to your knee, like you bring your, yeah, there you go. You got it. So we want to get the mechanics of that really solid to where it's just as natural to you. See how your hand's coming up? You want to bring it there, yes. Because we want that so natural to you that if you're in a dead run on the horse and you can at least slow him down enough to safely get off, you're not going to accidentally flip him over because in your panic, you didn't do it naturally. You know, like when somebody slams on the brakes in front of you in your panic, you still hit your brakes. You want to make sure it's that natural. Okay, go ahead and emergency stop him. Okay, so you left out one step. So the one step is you're going to raise, grab, grab, round. Nope. Yep. Nope. Sorry, I was wrong.
Oh.
way you have his nose. Because if you only grab it back where you pulled it up to, there's a good chance that you'll half fall off trying to get his nose around because the rein will be too long. So you want the rein short. You want to make him come. You want to make him bring his nose around. Extremely important for keeping your hand down. That's extremely important, especially if a horse is off balance. Like, he's not really off balance, so to speak, but you might find a horse that if they're in a run and they're in a panic, they really aren't paying attention to what their feet are doing. You don't want to knock them down trying to stop them. Well, yeah, I mean, think about it though. If you allow your rein that long to where you have to kind of do this, look at how my body is. I'm going off the horse this way. And if I was successful in any way to get his head around, I'm pulling that horse on top of me. You know what I'm saying? So we really want to, if anything, the other hand, anchor yourself down, like put your other hand right on the pommel of the saddle, anchor yourself in there when you bring him down. And then our final dismount for the day, I'll have you actually do an actual dismount as well. So you can kind of get the feel of that. Yep, 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 yes. So anytime when we're working, if he's doing something more than you want, so he's trotting, you don't want him to trot, and you can't just easy him back down to the walk, then good, good, yep. And I saw you catch yourself. So good. No. Well, yeah, the turn is always in that direction. You know why? If you're in a dead run and you're in a panic, what side do you always get off the horse? Get on and off the horse. Right. And it's natural to do that, right? It feels comfortable to do that. Do you want to be in a dead run and pull the horse that way and try to figure out how to jump off that side? That's way too much for a brain to try to figure out in a panic situation. So for me, you can do stops in both directions, but that's the one you want to be your emergency dismount stop, because that's the one that if you have to, like say you can only slow him down to a jog, if you have to jump off, you want to be able to jump off the side that would be natural to you. So. Yes. That's okay. That's okay. He's done this a lot with people. So the first thing I do with him is I tell him in my body, I put my reins slightly forward, kind of like you're starting an airplane, I guess. Put your reins slightly forward together. If that doesn't make him move, your body should make him move. If your body doesn't make him move, then you're going to kiss. If your kiss doesn't make him move, then your legs. Your legs are the last resort. Because I steer with my legs, I don't drive with them. There you go. Yep. And never let go until they stop. Now let's just say you're in a panic situation, your horse is running, and you really, like you see the creek or the woods coming up and you don't think you're going to be able to stop him in time, but you can slow him down enough. Just, hold tight until you jump off, or hold tight till they've stopped.
Jump off. Don't let go.
Right. Yeah, because once you jump off, this rein that's doing all the work, that rein is going to be in your hand. You'll spin the horse away from you, and you'll cause him to turn and face you. If you spin the wrong way and jump off the wrong way, you're going to spin the horse right on top of you. And that's habitual. Good boy. And you're welcome to give him a little scratch anytime you feel like he's working good for you. Because he was being kind of silly to begin with. Now the other thing that, yep, good. The other thing that I do is I try, it's harder to do at a walk, but I try to find a way to soften my belt line. Somebody else said that they feel they have to soften more just below their bra line to make it happen for them, but once you soften your back, now you can keep your shoulders are kind of your posture, but your back, you can soften your back and think of it as like a really great shock absorber. when you ride, no matter what gait it is, no matter how big of a gaited horse or how little gaited a horse, if you ride on your balance in that way, and you take all the movement in your own back, you guys move together. Right now, let's say you just were to start riding him, you could technically be riding the saddle, and we want you to ride the horse. I'm not telling you you're doing anything yet. I'm just saying I'm going to help you walk through this, where when it's done properly, when it's done properly, you'll feel like you're on one of those glider chairs. You know, those that are on tracks. But the trick is to let him move you. You don't move him. The only time you're going to move ahead of him is when you're asking for him to go faster. But just kind of soften. He's got an itch. So just kind of soften your back, or then suddenly you feel that he and you are moving as if that saddle's not there and you guys are moving together. You're just accessory on his back, but you're part of him. Tennessee Walker, so he has what's called a running walk, even though he can just walk fast. He doesn't actually gait. I taught him when he was really little that I want him to be a different type of horse. You can't be a Tennessee Walker. So he actually trots. He's left-handed, so when you go to the left, he'd prefer to try to canter. If you go to the right, he's less likely to try to canter at a trot. If he's working for you, he will get himself in that frame that you saw him get into, where he'll go to, he'll bend at the vertical, he'll bend at the pole. That's when he's working for you. When he's not working for you, his nose will be sticking straight out in front of him. So those are ways you can kind of gauge whether or not you guys are really working together. At the walk, I don't care, but at the trot, I care if his nose is out in front of him. Right now, because I don't care if he's just walking. But when he's trotting, he should throw himself into his own frame. Sometimes he gets behind the vertical, and I don't really care. It's a little bit more, it's like overachieving, but I don't care that he does that. He's not wearing a bit, so it's not like he's getting behind the bit. If you push him with your inside leg, push him over. But see how you actually got on the side of him? When you went to push him over, you jumped on that side of him. So you closed the door from him being able to go away from you. So if you're going to ask him to move from the center of the circle to the rail, you need to jump on the inside of the circle and allow him to go away from you. Because as soon as you started to do that, you went like this. Like your body evidently shifted. So you really want to get you're almost stepping in that stirrup and pushing him away.
My body went. Oh. My body went.
No, you actually sat harder on that hip, and then and then focused on this foot, I guess.
Okay.
But what I saw when you were up by